has to give us in a bit. There's Dave Clawson. We'll talk a whole lot about him in this game. He's had an unbelievable amount of success at Wake Forest. Toe meets leather, and we're underway here at Lane Stadium. Darius Wheatley at his own 4. Gets hammered inside the 20. He'll get out to about the 18 before Kenneth Dix drops him. Good news for Virginia Tech, and that is Hendon Hooker, who didn't start the season as their top quarterback, but took over the reins. Had to miss the Notre Dame game last time around, but he will start this one. Father, fantastic college football player at North Carolina A&T. This team has seen success with him in that spot at the quarterback, but he didn't play last weekend against Notre Dame. It was Quincy Patterson who got the start, but he's back in the starting lineup today.
Yeah, he has 3 starts and won all 3 of those games. Really good to see him back, add some versatility to the offense.
Trey Turner on the end around, picks up a couple of yards for this Virginia Tech offense. You know, they've been banged up on both sides of the football field, as just about every team this time of year is. Trey Turner's one of those receivers, missed a couple of games. They had Damon Hazelton miss a few games early on. Now it seems they're getting their whole receiving corps back healthy.
Yeah, before the season started, I thought that Virginia Tech was going to have one of the most prolific wide receiving corps in the whole league. And to get Trey Turner back, you just saw his versatility on the end around. They can do so much with this core back healthy.
McLeese out of the backfield, takes the swing pass, makes a man miss. He's going to pick up enough for the first down. Justin Fuente's 4th season here in Blacksburg, was the ACC Coach of the Year in 2016. You mentioned had a rough start. They were 2-2 on the year, 0-2 after getting housed against Duke. And he said at that point in time, he said, look, I'm just going to start being myself a little bit more. Less worried about others, less walking on eggshells, and this team has responded to that.
Yeah, they have, and it said it was a wake-up call for him. He watched the film back, and he said, why are my players not playing tough football? If there's one thing that Justin Fuente feels that he can do is create a tough football team, and he just got away from his core values, his core beliefs, and he said that all changed after that Duke game. Started with some tough practices and some tough talk, some tough love, and this team is playing tough as of late.
On the pitch, McLeese hammered, it bounces off the initial tackle.
Wow.
Sear Greer kept his feet and picked up a few more yards before Ja'Cory Jones dropped him.
And that was kind of on cue in terms of toughness, and this was a tough run from Deshaun McLeese, not known for physicality, but look at that ability to just stay alive. Bounced off Nasir Greer for some extra yards, and those are the type of things that'll get this Virginia Tech crowd and team fired up.
3 receivers in a bunch set at the top of your screen. 3rd down and 3. Turner, can he pick up the yardage? He does, and a whole lot more. They get past midfield. Turner coming up limping a little bit. That's not a good sign for Hokie fans, even though they're right now in a good drive to start this game.
Yeah, we talked about him dealing with some injuries, and we hope it's nothing, but really good blocking on the edge by some of the wide receivers and tight ends to pick up that first down.
Movement on the line of scrimmage, flags all over the place. We'll see if Tyler Williams from Wake Forest was pulled off or whether he jumped prematurely.
Offside, defense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Jerry Magdalenas, our referee for the day. First flag thrown. Tyler Williams was offside.
Very uncharacteristic for this Wake Forest team. They're some of the fewest in penalty numbers this season in the ACC. It's just an emotional penalty. Sometimes when you jump early in the game, you're just getting your nerves out, and you got to keep those under control.
Williams was under control on that play, making up for it, stopping the freshman Keyshawn King for a loss on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Hooker out to Hazelton. Give him about 5 to set up 3rd down.
This is going to be a 3rd down and short, 3rd and 2. Over the past few weeks when Quincy Patterson has been in the game, you've seen a lot of tight sets. Quincy Patterson just keeping the ball on the run. I think right now they're going to experiment a little more with the passing game and Hendon Hooker, they feel like he might be able to get out of the pocket and probably throw a quick route to the sideline.
That's King in motion. Couldn't corral the pass from Hooker. And just like that, a very promising drive to open the game for the Hokies. Might be coming to an end, although they're kind of in no man's land here. Let's see if Fuente decides to roll the dice early and go for it.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to, and you saw right there, they felt like they could outflank the defense, getting 4 receiving bodies to one side. See if they look to do that again, or possibly fake that outside play and run it right up the middle.
McLeese back in the game at that tailback spot for the Hokies. Hooker's going to try to carry it, following McLeese in the hole, and he'll pick up the first down, still on his feet before going out of bounds at the 32.
Well, a little bit of that quarterback keep that we saw with Quincy Patterson. Now Hendon Hooker is getting the quarterback sweep, and right there, good block by Deshaun McLeese to spurt Hendon Hooker through the gap and for the first down. We talked to Lyle Hemphill, the defensive coordinator for Wake. He said, we prepared all week for the quarterback sweep, and right there, Virginia Tech got the best of them.
McLeese inside, big hole, picks up 5 good yards. Ryan Smenda Jr. out of that middle linebacker spot, finally bringing him down. But we talked at the open about how great Wake Forest's offense is. Well, one of the great ways to defend a great offense is don't let him get on the field. Right
yeah.
now, this drive taking the first 5 minutes of the game.
Exactly right. And you saw early in the season when we looked at Virginia Tech, they went fast, they went hurry up. Right now, they understand their limitations on defensively against this Wake Forest offense. So they're going to run the clock, try to make the game shorter, so there's not as many opportunities for Jamie Newton to just throw the ball up to his big receivers.
Jaquez Williams out of that linebacker spot coming up to stop Deshaun McLeese. Williams taking over for Justin Strnad, one of the team captains and the best defensive players on this team. Out, you can see 2 starting linebackers missing in this game for Wake Forest due to injury.
Yeah, that's really tough. Strnad was the guy who lined everybody up and got him going and got him playing.
They're trying to pick up that first down on the ground. They won't get there on 3rd down. Maybe 3 yards for McLeese, but it'll bring up 4th and a couple.
Well, we talked to Lyle Hemphill about what's different about having a really high-scoring offense on their team. He said, people just need to score points. So when you get in this type of situation, 4th and 2, where you could kick a field goal, you got to try to get the touchdown, because you know you're going to have to score a lot of points playing against Wake Forest. You might have drawn them off sides.
They have. Let's see what the officials say. It looked like Hooker was trying to get a quick count.
Offside defense, number 9. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Boogie Basham offsides, and Coach Clausen not very happy with the call, but it's going to go against his team.
Ooh, a little bit right there. That's two of those penalties on this opening drive. We talked about it being uncharacteristic, and Carlos Boogie Basham is a guy who's from Roanoke, Virginia. He's all jacked up to play in this game. He said, okay, it's 3rd down. I'm going to pin my ears back and go get him.
King in motion. Hooker fakes it to him, has room to run. Boy, opted to go to the right side there, Mark. Looking at the way that play was opening up, if you put a foot in the ground and cut left, he might have been in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And watch this here. We have 2 guys pulling around, and as this bubble is faked out there, the quarterback is just able to fall up inside for the gain. It's really good play design. After earlier, they showed that they passed the ball out there. Now they pulled the guard and tackle around the quarterback run up the middle.
14th play of this drive to open the game for the Hokies. Hooker now rolling out. Spins away from the tackler. Another one before being dropped just shy of the first down marker. Boogie Basham got him, but a couple of nice moves by Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker is feeling himself a little bit right now. Little spin move, and then a juke. Stuff like that when you're on the sideline as a defender and you're watching in the Virginia Tech jersey, you're saying, man, my quarterback is doing some really cool things. I can't wait to get on the field and stop the opposing guy. Anytime that there's 2 quarterbacks playing against each other, they try to be the best on the field at any given day, and Hendon Hooker starting off really well.
Turner Inside the 10. He'll pick up a first down. It'll be first and goal for the Hokies. This drive already 15 plays, taking up over half of this first quarter. And the Wake Forest offense is yet to even see the field.
Yeah, and they are just marching down the field. And it seems like they're doing a little bit of everything. They're kind of setting up this entire game on this drive. You're seeing a couple hand sweeps to wide receivers. You're getting to see the wide receivers spread out, swing the running back, then pull the guards and run the quarterback. They're doing a little bit of everything to make Wake Forest defense think.
Hooker can't handle the snap. He's just going to have to fall on it. And that's going to be a big loss all the way back to the 19. Boogie Basham was there to make sure he couldn't pick it up and do anything with it.
Well, that wasn't part of the plan. And just a little bit of a low snap. I always get questionable when a quarterback's going to snap the ball on a hand clap, because sometimes they're in the middle of that second hand clap and the ball gets snapped. They're not able to get their hands up to catch the snap.
So second and goal all the way back now at the 19.
Stacked receivers at the top of your screen and bottom. Get the jams off.
Hooker looking near side, trying to get it to Turner, just overshoots it.
And that throw is poor. A little bit high. Virginia Tech got what they wanted. They had Wake Forest corners backed off a little bit. They're trying to get a chunk play back, so they have a better opportunity on third down to get to the end zone. Now they're going to need a lot of yards to go to reach that goal line.
Third and goal now from the 19. Hannah McLeese trying to trip up Wake Forest a little bit. It doesn't work. He picks up maybe a yard before being dropped by Smenda.
They're going to have to settle for a field goal on this drive. Really long drive, really productive drive, but you can see how just one little mistake, the botched snap, can change everything out of whack. A lot of times when the defense commits 2 or 3 penalties on a drive, it ends in a score, and Brian Johnson's going to try to get this one through the uprights.
35-yard attempt by Johnson. And he splits the uprights. Virginia Tech on a long opening drive in this game. On the board first, 3-0 Hokies lead.
Today, Georgia Tech will keep it close, but ultimately Virginia behind Wayne Talapop in a touchdown. Hold on to win 33-28. Virginia strengthens their footing atop the Coastal Division, improving to 5-2. Back to the good guys, Connor and Herzog.
Thank you, JC. Just down the Tobacco Road from us here, about 2.5 hours down to Duke, getting set for Duke and Notre Dame tonight. Virginia Tech getting 3 points on the board, their opening drive of the game. Now let's see what Wake Forest can do. Kendall Hinton just going to let this one bounce in the end zone. Deeks will take over from their own 25. What can you say about Dave Clawson and the job he has done now in his 6th season in Winston-Salem? Coming over from Bowling Green, 7-1 now, first time since that ACC championship season back in 2006. This team no longer hopes to have a winning season, hopes to go bowling. They expect it every year, and that's the mentality that Clawson now has built in with Wake Forest. And as you see, already bowl eligible for a 4th year.
Yeah, it's amazing what they've done under him. As you just said, they're not hoping for a 6-7 win season. They're hoping for 8, 9, 10 wins.
Another situation like this, we've seen a few of these already today.
Yeah.
Deshaun Crawford's fired up.
Tell you what, you get that a lot.
Offside, defense, number 36. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You get that a lot on the defensive front. Early in games, you got a lot of emotions. These guys have been chomping at the bit all week.
All game, they've been sitting on the sideline waiting for the offense to get off the field.
All first quarter, he said, just let me get out there. A little bit too soon.
Another flag. This time it's going to go the other way, and we're just going to start over.
All right, let's redo this. Yep. Let's get back to talking about Clawson.
False start, offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Right tackle Jake Benzinger, the senior from Williamston, Massachusetts, jumping early.
And to actually get back to Clawson, I think what he's done, he's taken a bunch of guys who did not have any Power 5 offers, put them together and created this team that has been a juggernaut this season. I mean, they consistently are winning and being very efficient doing it.
Blooming handing the ball off to his big power back. That's Cade Carney. Perfect example of what you were talking about. Carney, over 2,200 career yards, captain on this team.
Yeah, two-time captain. And Jamie Newman is their absolute stud at quarterback. He's a guy that a lot of people probably don't know on the national ranks. In the ACC, you have to know who he is. He is leading in pretty much every quarterback category you can possibly think of. And what he does, he just brings a level of playmaking ability, combines it with efficiency, and has led this team to really a ton of success on offense.
3rd down and 3 for Newman and company. Newman chased out of pocket. He's going to be sacked. Emmanuel Belmar got him his 4th of the year, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Emmanuel Belmar is going to come off the edge right here and just going to get right past the offensive line. A good job of using speed to power. When you talk to some of the best pass rushers, they always said you need to make the offensive tackles honor your power early in the game so it sits their weight down, and then you can beat them with speed rush later. We'll see if he uses that to his advantage as the game goes along. But great job in the first 3rd down to get him off the field in 3 plays.
Dom Maggio drives Grimsley back to his 22. Flag down. Grimsley's going to be brought down as well. Won't get any further than that 22-yard line thanks to Jasir Taylor. Let's see what the flag's all about.
During the return, illegal blocking it back. Receiving team, number 27. 10-yard penalty. 1st down. Timeout.
On a night when Virginia Tech faithful honor their defensive coordinator, Bud Foster, it's Emmanuel Bell.
Danielle, for your service and for allowing somebody to do so much.
Terrence Wheaton's got a wide open gap to run through. 40. Fumbles the football. It's going to be picked up by Wake Forest. Isang Bassi picked up the fumble, and what a job by the Deeks to run down Wheatley. Nasir Greer was the one who caused the fumble. And a huge play for Virginia Tech now becomes a big play for Wake Forest.
That was wild. And so often you tell these running backs to know where the defender is. You tell them to look up at the Jumbotron so you can see who's following you. Well, he's running towards this end of the field that does not have the Jumbotron, and he just got caught from behind. And it's a young running back catching a big play out of the backfield. And really, really great hustle by Wake Forest defense to never give up on the play. That's a huge turnover, and you talked about it earlier. You don't want to give Wake Forest offense many chances. Well, that's a big change of possession chance again right here.
It had been a dream start for Virginia Tech. A long drive to put points on the board, then a 3 and out, and now an open receiver. That's Hinton inside the 30, out at the 26. How did he get lost?
Wow, looks like it might have been a little bit of a coverage aspect. Virginia Tech was playing a deep 3rd coverage, and the linebacker just buzzed out to the flat and lost the receiver going up the sideline.
Carney puts his shoulder down, gets 2. There's that long mesh point that we talk about whenever we watch Wake Forest.
Yeah, the mesh point allows them to really find the hole, to find the receivers downfield as they become uncovered. But Dave Carney is one of the best at doing it. It's one of the reasons why he's their starter and their 2-time captain, because he is so patient when he runs the ball. Not a ton of speed, but once he finds the hole, he gets through it, and he can lower his shoulder and run over a safety.
Big 3rd down. Newman looking to throw. Couldn't hook up with Hinton, and it'll force a 4th down and a field goal attempt, presumably by Skiba.
Yeah, and that last play played to one of my pet peeves. The umpire got in the way of a route, and that frustrates me. But
I can promise you folks out there that is clearly one of his pet peeves. Not the first time he's mentioned that dude with the U on his jersey.
Oh man, now Skiba made 26 in a row field goals, going to 27 right here.
He's amazing. The accuracy, not a great leg though. 40-yard kick. And he puts this one through. 27 in a row for Skiba. We're all knotted up at 3. Notre Dame and Duke, our ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. It's also available on the ESPN app, so check it out there if you so desire. All the fellas out there in Durham. Pre-game, post-game, halftime. Got the game coming up. Great night of football here on the ACC Network. We got a good one here. 3-3 after the turnover, and Wake Forest was able to put points on the board on Skiba's 40-yard field goal. 27 in a row now, tying the ACC mark, which was set by Mark Permanti, NC State back in the mid-90s. Here's Wheatley, who just fumbled the ball moments ago, now trying to make amends for it on the return game, and they get out to the 28. Let's show you that fumble.
Yeah, and then that fumble from the previous series. Let's try to find number 3, trailing right here on the left side of your screen. Watch the hustle, and his eyes never leave the ball. They are laser focused on the one thing he knows he needs to get back, the football. And when you talk about that laser vision focus, that allows for big plays, and you practice that over and over again in practice, and every so often it's able to show itself in a game, and great job right there getting the ball out.
Let's see if McLeese and company can get that mojo back for Virginia Tech. Jaquez Williams brings down McLeese, gain of maybe 2. Clock winding inside of 2 minutes in this first quarter. Hooker hooks up with Hazelton. Give him 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Seeing a lot of complementary plays now. That first series with that 15, 16 play drive set these plays up. You saw that formation earlier with the wide bunch, 3 receivers together, and they threw it out to Trey Turner. Now they went backside and threw it to Damon Hazelton. Let's see if that progresses as the game goes along. This is where they threw the swing pass and then the quarterback draw.
Hooker trying to get to Hazelton. That was a bullet from 5 yards out.
Yeah, it was. And so you're seeing how there's different things that they're going to do out of the same formations. They ran the same look earlier, and now they came backside. They're going to see what the defense is giving them. There's man-to-man on the backside. Really good coverage, but Hooker said, I'm just going to throw it as hard as I can, and if my guy catches it, great. If not, it'll be incomplete.
Spins out of the first tackler, can't get out of the second. About 4 yards on the return. Devin Hunter brings down Ken Hinton. Food Lions, food for thought. Check out what Virginia Tech has done with Bud Foster as the defensive coordinator, and it's a defense that struggled a little bit here early this year. Seems to be putting things together though as the year progresses.
Yeah, and he just has been so consistent. And you know, he talked about just being here for a long time, but those numbers prove that not only was he here for a long time, he did it really well for that entire time.
There's that mesh point. And Newman just overshoots Hinton.
So often that mesh point, that elongated mesh point for Wake Forest, causes the defenders to jump up, but when you have a guy like Richard Ashby at the middle linebacker position, you don't necessarily have to bring your safeties down into the box to stop the run, because he's everywhere stopping the run himself.
False start offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Jake Benzinger again, that's his 2nd false start penalty. This place can get loud, but right now it's not nearly as loud as we've heard it in the past. That can oftentimes be a problem for offensive linemen.
Yeah, the noise shouldn't be a factor. I think it's emotion. Both teams really understand the importance of this game and the magnitude that this game has late in the season.
Empty backfield now for Newman. Those hands are so strong to be able to bring that ball in. Doesn't get much in terms of yardage, but impressive catch.
No, when we talked to Jamie Newman, we said, yo, what's it like throwing to Sate Surratt? He said, even if there's a defender right on him, he's not covered. And that's the reason right there. He has that physicality and the strong hands to bring the ball in even when he is covered.
3rd and 11. Newman with time. Gets it to Hinton. He's going to be dropped, though, short of that first down marker.
Really good job by Bud Foster's defense. They went man-free and challenged their corners to lock down Wake Forest wide receivers. They did just that on the play, and it allowed for the linebackers to play an inside hole position, forced everything to the sideline. Good tackle.
Divine Diablo had a huge game last week against Notre Dame, making the stop and forcing the second 3 and out of the day so far for Wake Forest.
Another false start on Wake.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Never mind.
Time ran out before the snap.
Maggio didn't get the punt off in time, so we'll try it again in the second quarter. Bud Foster's defense stepping up. 3-3 after 1 quarter play in this big ACC tilt in Blacksburg. Defensively this season in the first quarter, Coach Clausen trying to put 2 and 2 together from an offensive standpoint. His defense has played solidly enough as we're 3-3 after 1. Unfortunately for the Geeks, they got to get the ball back to the Hokies. Tom Maggio punts this one away. Hezekiah Grims is going to let it bounce. He's going to take Wake Forest bounce and dangerously continues to roll down before being touched down by a Deke. At about the, you're going to mark it at about the 18-yard line. Grimsley, whew, just get away from that thing.
Yeah, there's always a call that the returner makes to make everybody else get away from it. And sometimes it's Peter or Poison. Ooh, and right there, gosh, it's so close the way the ball bounces. Doesn't look like it adjusts its bounce at all. But that's one of those ones where you get real lucky that it did not hit you. I know what he's thinking. You just don't want to get that extra roll yardage on the punt, but sometimes you just gotta, if you don't catch it cleanly, you gotta get away from it.
So another opportunity for Hendon Hooker here to start the second quarter. Got the freshman Keyshawn King. Didn't play a whole lot these last couple of games with Quincy Patterson at the quarterback spot, but now getting another opportunity. Opted to bounce it out to the right. It looked like the hole may have been developing to the left, but he still picks up 3 yards.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. The hole was there on the left-hand side, and he's a young running back, and the hole is not always going to be clean. Sometimes you just got to jam it up in and then bounce out afterwards. He went to a gap that wasn't there.
Now looking for Virginia Tech trying to go quickly, and it's going to work for him. James Mitchell, the tight end, gets a first down.
Starting to feel themselves a little bit. They're able to do it, and actually they spent a lot of this week practicing fast in order to prepare Bud Foster's defense for the pace that Wake Forest is going to play, and it looks like they felt like they had success doing it. And every now and then you can catch a defense off guard with the change of pace, and it worked to perfection in that play. This was what they lined up for a lot of the quarterback runs. Quincy Patterson was in.
This time they get to King. Nice pickup on first down, 7 yards. Nasir Greer is there to bring him down in the secondary, but King's now starting to feel it a little bit.
See everybody in towards that line of scrimmage. Bunch of tight ends, pulling guards. And that's when they had Quincy Patterson just pounded up in the middle, but now with the ability to have Keyshawn King do it adds a little bit another dimension.
Now King is spread out in the slot, top of your screen.
Showing 2 high safeties. Middle of the field where they look to throw the ball versus that.
King coming in motion. Hooker keeps it. A lot of room to run up the middle. And he'll pick up a first down near midfield.
Well, if you're not going to throw the ball in the middle of the field versus cover 2, you will end up getting one less player in the box in the run play, and good job. This was probably a check with me play, and he saw the middle of the field wide open in that cover 2 versus the empty and called his own number. Good job running for the first down.
You know,
this drive, they're moving again.
Yeah, and I was about to say it's interesting they went quickly just on that one play. Now they're huddling again, working that clock, keeping the ball out of this Wake Forest offense. Hooker rolling. Again to his tight end, Mitchell. A lot of room. Tripped up, but he doesn't get tripped up until he gets to the 36-yard line. He's fired up. Hokies are moving the football.
This is what you call a true naked bootleg. Watch right here. You get the block and then the late release. The other tight end's coming around, and Hendon Hooker is going to roll with no edge blocker. That's the naked part of the bootleg. He's going to be rolling out around there. It's always a risk you take if the defense just comes hell-bent for leather to hit your quarterback, but good job by there, and James Mitchell did the rest on the ground with his own feet.
Another one of these team captains, Dalton Keene, out with the block. Now Turner. That's what you want if you're Virginia Tech. Get him out one-on-one with a defender, one man to beat. He does it. It was Amari Henderson out there, and he beat Henderson and picked up 9 yards.
Yeah, Fuente's happy. He had a plan for this week, and it's unfolding before our eyes. A lot of things. East and West get the ball to the sideline, then right up the middle. And East and West and right up the middle. Good job there to circle the defense. Using multiple personnel, multiple formations, and multiple guys carrying the football.
Fake to King. Pressure comes. Hooker's going to go down. Boogie Basham was in the backfield and dropped the Virginia Tech quarterback. That's 7 sacks on the season for Basham.
Boogie Basham right here is going to come up and under the tackle. I want you to watch his hands. Right, boom, right there. He knocks down the left hand of the offensive tackle, and if you do not have your hands to use on the offensive line, you will get beat. Boogie Basham right there for another sack.
So 2nd and 1 becomes 3rd down and 6 for Virginia Tech as they look to continue this drive. Hooker keeps it into the middle, picks up 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Again, they're in a little bit of this gray area as to whether they'll kick or whether they'll go for it. 4th down and a long 2. It looks like Fuente's going to keep his offense out there.
Yeah, I think anything 2 and under, he feels confident in going for it. 4 receiving threats at the top of your screen. See if they ISO on the bottom.
Hooker out to King. 1st down and more. He'll carry it to the 20. Chase Jones tackles him there. 1st down Hokies.
They're just feeling like they can outflank the defense and get numbers in the pass game. This, for all intents and purposes, is just a toss. Toss out to King, and he's got his 3 blockers out in front of him. It's a way to nullify the defensive line in the run game. And you're seeing it happen so much more in college football. Just a quick pass out to the flat, and now you're making DBs tackle against running backs in space.
Give to King. 5 yards. Corey Jones tackles him. Another long drive here for the Hokies. 10 plays, almost 6 minutes off the clock.
And right now, the Wake Forest offense is on the sideline. They're not used to this. They're not used to not being able to run plays consistently. And Virginia Tech is just chewing up so much clock that they're not giving Wake Forest and Jamie Newman any chance to get on the field and gain some consistency.
2nd down and 5. Give up the middle to McLeese. That time, minimal gain. Big old Suleiman Kamara brought down McLeese.
Kamara is another guy from Virginia. He and Carlos Boogie Basham are both from Virginia. Basham from Roanoke, Kamara from Richmond. They're both excited to be back in their home state, playing against the Hokies. Lots of family watching today. Basham has already had 2 sacks in this game. Really good start for him.
Hooker looking to throw on 3rd down. In the end zone. Overshot Grimsley, and Henderson was there, just couldn't quite squeeze it. Thumbs up from Hooker saying, yeah, it's all me. But it'll bring up 4th down and another field goal attempt. So long drives, chewing up a lot of clock, a lot of yardage. But so far, Justin Fuente and company haven't been able to get into the end zone.
Yeah, Wake Forest defense is doing a good job of making plays when they need to. Kind of a bend but don't break defense right now, and you continue to hold people to field goals against Wake Forest, and with the potential of the offensive threat that Jamie Newman and Sage Surratt bring, you'll settle for field goals.
Take it any way you can get it.
Absolutely.
Win's a win. Now Wake Forest back on offense. Fake to Carney. Newman nowhere to go. He'll get dropped for a loss.
Number 12, Jamie Newman dropped in the backfield.
Belt Becton was there. Javon Becton was there for the stop.
Going fast. Didn't get anything started.
Trying to find Surratt. Just being harassed all the way down the field by Javon Quillen.
All right, well, this is going to get to an interesting point. We talked to both these coaches, Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator for Wake, and Bud Foster, and they both said that there is no pass interference being called anymore in college football. And we'll find out early how the refs are going to let that be played. Well, you saw right there a lot of grabbing, a lot of pulling. It's going to be a physical game on the outside.
Wake has yet to convert a third down. It's 3rd and 13 here. Newman all kinds of time. Got it to Hinton. And it's a catch. We do have a flag down in the secondary.
Right on cue. Got a little too physical on the outside, I think. Sage Surratt was almost tackled on the play.
Pass complete to number 2, Kendall Hinton.
Let's look at the catch first. Yeah, Hinton goes down and gets it. I don't see the ball moving at all. Not from that angle.
The ruling on the field is a completed catch for a first down. However, holding, defense.
He's on top midway through the second quarter. Previous play was ruled a catch on the field. Now let's take a look at the replay. From one angle, it looked like a catch. From this angle, not so much, Mark.
Yeah, right there, the ball clearly hits the ground. Call was reversed during the break, but there was a holding call. Let's watch right here, Javon Quillen. This is definitely a hold. That is a hold with your left hand, a hold with your right hand, hold with your feet and your toes. Tackled him right to the ground. So that's gonna be 10 yards and a first down.
Let's keep in mind, too, Jermaine Waller, who Bud Foster said is their best corner, is out in this first half because of a targeting call in the Notre Dame game last week. So Quillen is forced into action, as is Armani Chapman in one of those corner spots. First down now for Wake. Newman has time. He's got Surratt, too, down the sideline. And a beautiful play by Chapman to knock the ball away just at the last second.
That is absolutely perfect defense by Chapman, who, as you just mentioned, is in for Waller. And look at his eyes. He gets a little bit behind the receiver, but does not panic. You always tell the defender, when you're in the trail position, do not panic. Once you see the hands go up, swipe through the breadbasket, the pocket of the hands. Great job right there. And when you talk about Waller being out on the other side, Scotty Washington looked like he's out as well. We haven't seen him yet in this game.
Quickly, just behind Kendall Hinton. He had a lot of room to roam, but that was a tight window.
Yeah, that was a tight window. Really good throw by Newman. You want to put it a little bit out in front of him. Right there, he sees it. His eyes see the receiver and pulls the ball away from the running back, just misses barely. And a big third down here. So desperately need this to keep their drive alive. They've just been stalled every time out. And 3rd and 10. Where's Surratt?
Newman's looking for Hinton. Wide open. 30, 25 down to the 24.
Pass complete to number 2, Kendall Hinton.
Who needs Sage Surratt when you have number 2, Kendall Hinton? And just finds the space right in between the safety and the nickelback. Really good release by Hinton on Chamari Connor and just beats him downfield.
More flags, more players on the line of scrimmage jumping.
Offside, defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Add 5 yards to it.
Let's look back at that big play. And right here, a really good release and move to get down the field. And right there, that little stutter breaks Jamar Connor's ankles and just runs right down the really good release by Kendall Lynn. And that's the dynamic he adds in the slot for this team.
Fake to Carney. Newman will keep it. Glances in the middle before going down. That's 7 yards on 1st and 5, so it'll be another first down.
Yeah, I was wondering how long it was going to take for them to call number 12's number just to keep it himself. When you get man-to-man on the outside, sometimes the backs get turned and your quarterback can go. So they don't like to run him too much to not get hurt, but being this close, you got to use your legs a little bit as well.
Fake to Carney, forces that one into Surratt, makes the catch, and stays on his feet. He'll get into the end zone.
Whoa! Well, there is not much you can do as a defense to stop that. Great recognition by Jamie Newman to see the blitz coming from the top of the route. Let's look at the end of the play to see if he gets in. And it looks like he does. I want to see if that ball moves at all right before it crosses the goal line.
Let me ask you this question when we see it on replay. Was I fair to say he forced it or not? Because he had 2 defenders all over Surratt. On first glance, I thought Newman forced that ball in there, but maybe I was off base.
No, you were not off base. He did force it in there. That gets back to the fact that, hey, when 4 teams covered, he's not covered. And I think that just the confidence level, and when talked to both of them together, they said that they are always on the same page. They'll send it.
Wake Forest on top 10-6 right now late in the second quarter, and that touchdown, the 10th of the season for Sage Surratt. We talked to his quarterback, Jamie Newman, about him. He says that this guy is just a hard worker, very physical, and has a dog mentality. You definitely see it there. Their offensive coordinator said they run the same plays over and over, and when you have a player like that that's that physical, you can see, as we did on that last play, what Sage Surratt is willing and able to do with it.
Nick Skiba kicking off for the Deeks' first lead of the game. An opportunity for King. Keyshawn King returning his first kick of the day. And he's set Virginia Tech up in good field position near their own 40-yard line. Let's take a look at that touchdown again, Mark.
Yeah, really good job by Jamie Newman recognizing what the defense was doing. And right here, they're going to send a blitz off the edge, but want to keep your eyes on Divine Diablo. And they're going to run hitting out to the flat, but Diablo recognizes the play and plays inside. Just a really perfectly thrown ball by Jamie Newman, and Sage Surratt out-bodies everybody, makes it down, and look at them talking together. They said, man, I don't know. That was a tight coverage. Just throw me the ball. Great job by them.
Pocket collapses around Hooker, and he gets taken down. Suleiman Kamara, whole group of folks. Bergen was there to bring him down, Dion Bergen.
And Boogie Basham again is in there for the sack. He is just having his way with this offensive line.
It's a coverage sack, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is. And have him double clutch. I think Basham might be lucky if he jumped on the pile to get a half a sack, but that was all Dion Bergen. Great job.
Up the middle, that's McLeese. Gets some of that yardage lost back. It'll bring up a 3rd and long, though. 3rd and just about 11 yards for the Hokies. They don't want to put that Wake Forest offense right back out there.
Sean McLeese with some pace and running of his own. Right behind center, Brian Hudson, a true freshman. Get a good chunk, but now 3rd and long. Bringing pressure.
Hooker try and tuck it. He's not going to get very far.
Yeah, they brought pressure and then just spied on the outside with Jaquez Williams. He showed like he was going to blitz and backed off, and no running room available, and Wake Forest did its job on defense. Now let's see if the offense of Jamie Newman can come back with another scoring drive.
Boy, Oscar Bradburn, this guy, Ray Guy watch list. Big weapon for Virginia Tech, driving, hitting back to his 5. Makes the catch. Gets out to the 12 after a 56-yard kick by Bradburn. Deke's back on offense. Turned receiver, big play from Newman, and then Sage Surratt. The touchdown, his 10th of the year. 2 of the 3 having big games so far. The third, Scotty Washington, not playing.
Yeah, no, Scotty Washington is out for the game. But these 2 guys have really stepped up. You worry when you have such a big play threat not there. But Kendall Hinton has taken the reins over for a couple of huge plays in key situations so far.
Scotty Washington, his 7 touchdown catches in a walking boot on the sideline. Aggravated an ankle, right ankle, and so he was a game time decision. And Dave Clawson opting to keep Washington out and rely on his other big guns. And so far it's been Surratt and Hinton that have gotten the job done. Now trying to get it done on the ground. 2 carries by Kenneth Walker. Close to that first down, but not quite there.
And Bud Foster is absolutely thrilled that Scotty Washington is not in, because that man right there, his #1 cover corner, Jermaine Waller, has had to sit out the entire first half because of targeting call in the second half of last game. And to be
he's like Moonlight Graham. He can't quite cross that threshold yet until we get to the half.
Field of Dreams, that's amazing. I love that.
Stay there, Waller.
Stay there.
Just 3 more minutes, you'll be good.
But what a break for the defense, not having to defend him as well from that corner position.
And Newman tried to get it to Stephen Claude, who's filling in for Scotty Washington. And they couldn't hook up, so Bud Foster, yeah, that defense getting back off the field.
And Caleb Farley's their #2 guy, but really good in his own right. He's long, he's pretty strong.
Strong with that right hand on that jersey, too, a little bit, right?
Grab. That's a veteran grab. He didn't grab the jersey, he grabbed the undershirt. Well, if you don't want that to get grabbed, don't wear a shirt that hangs out of your jersey. Fair and square.
Yeah. Wear a half shirt and neck roll. Words to live by my partner. Dom Maggio, also a great guy watch list. And he gets a good punt off. Grimsley bobbles it. Corrals it. Oof. Couple of hold your breath moments by Hezekiah Grimsley in the return game, but he does catch it, and Virginia Tech will take over. Coming up, State Farm halftime report. We're going to send it to the folks down there at Durham. Jordan Cornett and company will have analysis of the first half of this game. Florida State with a big win on the road earlier in the day, and then a preview of Notre Dame and Duke, which is our ACC Network prime time matchup presented by Geico.
Yeah, it was a good win for Odell Higgins at Florida State after all the turmoil this week. The firing of Willie Taggart, him stepping in as the interim head coach. Good for them to get a win.
Hooker finds Hazelton, makes a move. He isn't forced out of bounds until he gets to the 40. That's a 25-yard pitch and catch. Hazelton has been heating up lately. Injured, missed the first 3 games of the year. He's got a touchdown catch, though, in his last 3.
They're going fast again. They're going hurry up.
Hooker again looking at Hazelton, covered, so he throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, good coverage there by Bassie on the sideline. But you mentioned Hazelton, and last year he was a stud and made so many big plays, and there's so much high anticipation of him coming into this season. And then the early injury hampered him, but he's looking like he's in great form. He's that big receiver on the outside, and get Trey Turner going underneath provides an added dimension. Blitz off the top.
Trying to burn him inside, cannot. Tyler Williams was right there to meet McLeese.
Yeah. Well-timed corner blitz by Isang Bassie. And Hooker's going to watch that and say, I should just pulled it and thrown it out. See that blitz coming right there. And just messes up the blocking scheme just enough. Great tackle up front by Tyler Williams. And now we have another 3rd long.
Yeah, another 2 minutes to play in this first half. Virginia Tech taking their time. They don't want to give the football back to that Wake offense with a whole lot of time on that clock. If they can avoid it. Hooker, pressure comes, picked up. Got Hazelton. That's a first down.
And man, they did a great job there by high-lowing the defender, and brought a running back right in front of his face, and you're always taught not bite the cheese. Well, he bit the cheese. I don't know what that means, but he bit the cheese, jumped up in front, and Gabe was right in behind him.
Don't bite the cheese and don't think, because if you think, you stink.
You think, you stink.
Hooker showing that running ability.
Ball's
The
out.
football. Wake Forest recovers. Boogie Basham just met Hooker and dislodged the football. Ryan Smenda was there to pick it up. And the second big turnover for the Hokies.
The fumble recovered by the defense.
Ends another scoring threat.
You love to see that defensively. Talk about the effort. That's your defensive end who started on the line of scrimmage, is chasing the quarterback all the way down the field. Lays a big licking on him, and Basham is absolutely right there. Watch him throughout this play. I love this. Look, getting the pass rush, continues his motor, keeps running, keeps chasing down the ball carrier, causes the fumble. Carlos Boogie Basham, we've called his name plenty of times today, and he's having an outstanding game.
Carney lowers his shoulder with under a minute left to play in this first half, picks up 7 yards on first down. And it looks like Wake Forest is content to be conservative deep in their own end here.
Guys, close game for Wake Forest, and they haven't been in this position a lot in the first half. I just was walking behind the bench a little while ago. Jamie Newman going up to all of his receivers, tapping them on the sides, telling them to stay engaged. He looked at Sage Surratt and Kendall Hinton, said, trust yourself. We'll see what they do with this drive.
Carney, stiff arm. He was brought down by Armani Chapman.
Well, they went slow up until that play, and with that big chunk, now they're going to try to get the ball downfield. And
Timeout. Wake Forest. Their first timeout of the half. 32nd timeout.
Two nice runs by Carney, gave him 23 yards and a little breathing room.
yeah, they were content, Chris, to just go into halftime. But after that big run by Cade Carney, now they're in position to get a couple chunk plays. Get Skeeb out there for a big field goal, possibly get in the end zone, but good effort there. And the offense is watching the defense, right? When you're on the sideline as an offensive player and you watch a guy like Boogie Basham consistently give that type of effort, it gives you a little bit more of a spark. And I think Cade Carney and the offensive line feeds off that. I mean, anytime you get a big man running and making plays like that, it just fires up your entire team. And now they have ability to possibly go down the field. They can score quick, especially with 14 on the outside.
Newman now flushed, gets it to Carney with a minimal gain, maybe 4 yards, but with just 19 seconds left on the clock, Ford isn't going to get it done.
Good job of Jamie Newman trying to buy a little extra time. If there's one thing that I think he could work on is when he goes to run the ball or goes to scramble and get some more time.
Timeout. Virginia Tech. Their first timeout of the half. 32nd timeout.
When he gets that time in the pocket, he tends to tuck the ball down and doesn't keep his eyes downfield. Good job that time about keeping his eyes downfield and finding his receiver on the sideline.
Just getting what he could at that moment. Sunday on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app, we're going to have the ACC Field Hockey Championship. North Carolina and your alma mater.
BC.
Yeah, BC, number 9 in the country, looking for that field hockey title. Plus, men's soccer quarterfinals at 1, 3, 5, and 7. Nobody covers the ACC like we do here on the ACC Network.
It's a good thing that nobody covers the ACC like we do.
Nope, we get paid to cover it like nobody else.
There you go.
And we earn our keep every day. The guys at halftime, the ACC, or the State Farm halftime report, are going to be joining us here in a little bit. They're down at Durham, getting set for Duke, Notre Dame. They'll give you all the highlights. Looking forward to that game. Analysis of this game in our first half. We're not quite there yet, though. Maybe an opportunity for Wake Forest to put some points on the board here with 19 seconds left to go. Got to get something here, though. Newman flushed. He's going to get brought down. Eli Adams, along with Taiwan Garbutt.
Great job, great effort by Taiwan Garbutt. He's a guy who's showed a lot of potential for Bud Foster. And Bud Foster challenged him a few weeks ago, said, you just need to play a little bit faster on every single play. Well, that was a fast play right there. Big sack to end this half. Virginia Tech has absolutely dominated the time possession, possessing the ball for 21 out of the 30 minutes. They just haven't been able to get the ball in the end zone yet. And now Bud Foster talked all week about stopping the 6 to 8 yard routes. He's doing it with man-to-man coverage and then taking his 2 deep safeties and having them play in that low hole. It allows the linebackers to be aggressive to the receivers, and you're seeing that result in Jamie Newman having to hold the ball a little bit longer. He's pumping, he's not finding his initial look or his second, taking a couple sacks early in this game.
Carney carrying the ball, first play of the second half. Give him a couple of yards. Of note, Jermaine Waller, number 28. That man, Bud Foster, says my best cover corner. Now they get him back after sitting the first half, courtesy of the targeting call in the Notre Dame game last week. So that pays bonus dividends immediately for this Virginia Tech team. Newman, a long pause now, and he gets caught on that one. Jared Hewitt caught him from behind at that long mesh point.
Yeah, and Jared Hewitt did a great job. They have a line stunt going up front, and watch him work his hands, getting the outside of the offensive guard and just loop his way around. That's the one thing that this elongated mesh point can do, allow time for the defensive line to get in the backfield and get to the quarterback.
Wake Forest just 1 of 5 on third down in that first half. Another way that Virginia Tech was getting this Demon Deacon offense off the field. Another opportunity here.
Virginia Tech's checking on defense. And pressure off the bottom of your screen.
Newman fakes to Carney. Trying to get to Surratt. Waller was on the coverage. 4th down.
Welcome back, Jermaine Waller. In his absence, they were pretty good on the outside, but this is just a great job of him using his body to continually push Surratt to the sideline. You see a little bit of hand fighting, but it's just the body position and limiting the zone that Jamie Newman can throw the ball to, forces it all the way to the sideline. Really good play, and another 3 and out by this Virginia Tech defense to start the second half.
Dom Maggio with the kick for Wake Forest. True freshman Travian Robinson back to receive it. Good kick by Maggio. Drives Robinson back to his 17. He'll have room to run it though. Skips a tackle. 40, 45, close to midfield. Hokies with good field position.
Guys, I caught up with Justin Fuente on his way out, and I asked him about holding this explosive offense to just 10 points. He says they can't score if they don't have the ball. That's the game plan going into this. He said that's the beginning of it. The second part is they need to get some more points on the board. He said they can't have these long drives where they control the game and then have it end in a field goal. So right now, definitely an emphasis on trying to get some points on the board because they know how dangerous this Wake Forest offense can be.
Yeah, good point, Kels. 2 field goals, 2 turnovers when they had the football in Wake Forest territory. Just a yard away from being back in Wake territory. All kinds of time for Hooker. Great catch. Trey Turner went up to get it in traffic. Another first down for the Hokies.
We mentioned it's nice having number 11 back on this field healthy, and does a great double move on the outside to find his way right to the sideline and comes down with it. The catch radius that Trey Turner has is so good, able to go up and come down with the ball. Strong hands, big first down.
Wake shows pressure, picked up. Now Hooker will have room to run if he chooses to do so. He does. Spins forward for 9. Ryan Smenda brings him down.
Saw the pressure and had a really good play called to get it out on the outside to Tavion Robinson. Just got a little tripped up in his route, and Hooker decided to keep it. 2nd and short in this zone of the field is where you might see a shot to the end zone. As you know, if you fail and it's incomplete, at least you have his 3rd and short. Maybe Hazelton or Trey Turner to get deep for a shot here.
Grimsley in motion. Hooker, a lot of room up the middle. Inside the 15, down to the 12. First down for the Hokies.
Well, they didn't run it, but they brought pulling guard right there, and then a little delay and just a quarterback draw right up the middle, and really good job getting to the second level by Lestis Smith, offensive guard. Got up to the linebacker. Big hole for the quarterback.
More movement. We've seen more false start and offsides penalties tonight.
Offside defense, number 9. Jumped in the neutral zone, causing a reaction by the offensive lineman. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Pardon me, Jerry Magdalena, our official referee for the night. You heard Coach Clausen talking to Kelsey going into the half. The penalties kill him, and here again, 5 yards.
Yeah, both teams had 4 penalties in the first half, and that's unusual. And now another one. Boogie Bashman's had a bunch of big plays, but a couple costly penalties before the snap.
And a 1st and 5 for the Hokies. Hooker looking to throw. Now will take it down and run. He's got a block in front of him. That's McLeese. Close to the sticks. Give him 5 on the carry.
Wake Forest decided they're just going to drop 8 guys, only had 3 pass rushers, wanted to flood the different zones to take away the receiving routes. But when you're in this area, you just want to line up in your zone, not drop back, because when you're in the process of backpedaling, that allows the quarterback to pull and run and get some good yards. Talk about when you're this close to the end zone, every yard is valuable.
It's 1st and 10 now, so a new set of downs for the Hokies. McLeese squirts his way through. Touchdown.
Line up in their big man package, short yardage, and he stretches that ball out. Looks like it crosses the plane before any other body part touches the ground right there. And he gets the ball in for the touchdown. Really good block by Dalton Keene to set that up, and Deshaun McLeese just followed right off his blocker's backside. Found a little room right into the end zone.
Brian Johnson with the PAT. 4 minutes into this second half. Virginia Tech strikes first. They take the lead. This crowd was into it early, honoring Bud Foster before the game. Obviously, Enter Sandman always gets him going. And now with the sun going down, nighttime here at Lane Stadium, all fired up. And they've got reason to be. Their team's in the lead, and it's a huge game for both of these teams when you talk about a potential showdown between Clemson and Wake Forest next week down in Death Valley, but also for Virginia Tech, only 2 losses, and they control their own destiny in the Coastal.
Yeah, and they play Virginia at the end of the season to cap off the Coastal Conference, and that's going to be a deciding game. Virginia Tech can get a win here today, go on and potentially play for whoever's going to face the Atlantic champion at the end of the year.
And they've beaten Virginia 15 straight times in that rivalry. It'd be awesome for that one to mean even more than it always does. Downfield, trying to hit Stephen Claude, who initially had a little bit of a gap on the defender, but Newman wasn't able to find him. Caleb Farley on the coverage. Man,
they are letting them get away with a lot on the outside. This is probably why Dave Clausen said they don't call pass interference anymore. That ball was out in front of them, but there was pulling on the jersey, on the shirt. Jamie Newman's like, what am I supposed to do? My guys are getting harassed out there. It's the way they're calling the game.
Newman on 3rd down, goes through his progression, finds his tight end, Jack Frudenthal, close to that 1st down marker.
Frudenthal's really stepped up the last few weeks. There's 5 catches in the last 2 weeks, and 4 of those have been for touchdowns. 3 touchdowns last week for Notre Dame. I want to try to get him more involved, and Scotty Washington out, another receiving threat, will be helpful for Wake Forest.
Freudenthal picked up enough yardage for the first down. They'll move the sticks. Newman flushed. Now he rolls out. He'll keep it to try and get what he can. And he'll pick up 2 or 3 before Farley brings him down.
You're seeing a lot of tight coverage by this Virginia Tech defense. They're trying to get Newman outside the pocket, protecting with 2 extra blockers. Just haven't been able to get anything downfield.
Newman hits his tight end again. Makes the catch. He was only able to pick up a couple of yards. Divine Diablo brings him down.
And they're playing with these flat-footed safeties, and Diablo just breaks on intention, gets out, makes a really good play on the football, and now it's going to be a 3rd and 5. Let's see if they continue to keep these safeties close to the box, just flooding that zone, that intermediate throwing zone.
Hokies come with pressure. Picked up Hinton. Inside of Virginia Tech territory. Inside the 40. Down to the 39.
Good job there by Kendall Hinton just to make something out of this play. It's just a little hitch route comeback. And we talked to Jamie Newman, just get the ball in his hands and he can do stuff. He did there to pick up the first down.
Now Surratt. A lot of hand checking. Now the flag comes in. He and Jermaine Waller all the way down the left sideline.
Yeah, and they're letting us some go, but that little double move right there.
Pass interference defense, number 28, 15-yard penalty, first down.
A little stop route right there by Surratt. Got Waller to take his eyes back to the quarterback just enough where he had to use his hands to alter the route. And you're seeing a lot of it on the outside, but that one right there, because of the route that was run, that's what it's called.
That man doesn't like it. Justin Fuente doesn't like it, but it's a first down for the Demon Deacons. Empty backfield now for Newman. Another flag down, goes to the end zone. Touchdown, Surratt.
Well, let's see what the flag is.
Offside defense, number 90. Penalties declined. Touchdown.
Yeah, well, that play will be declined, and in this series, Sage Surratt has gotten the best of Jermaine Waller. Right there for the touchdown. Again, a one-on-one route. He starts from the slot position. You're going to see this happen more frequently throughout the game as Virginia Tech keeps taking away Surratt on the outside. Look for him to change his alignment, his position. A little inside fade route has become so much harder for the corner to defend because there's so much room to the sideline. Great ball by Newman. Even better catch by Surratt.
Skiba with the PAT, and just like that, our defensive slugfest in the first half has opened up here in the second half. 17-13 Wake Forest on the strength of the second Newman to Surratt touchdown of the day. Deacons back on top. Invented Beamer ball and really brought winning on a consistent basis to this team over the years, and so what a night it has been. Wake Forest just retaking the lead here in the third quarter over Virginia Tech. Skiba puts his toe into it. Keyshawn King now on the return. 15, 20, follows some blockers, brought down at the 25. And we are pleased to be joined by Frank Beamer here in the booth. Good to see you, Coach.
Good to see you.
How's everything going?
Going well.
You enjoying
going
retirement?
Well.
It's sort of pseudo-retirement because you're still an ambassador, right? So you're still doing a lot of things with the school.
Yeah, we're enjoying it. I'm on the committee there, selection committee, so every Monday and Tuesday I'm out in Dallas right now, and that keeps me involved and keeps me busy.
And now it's really keeping you busy.
Yeah, and then we come over and walk every day. I'm in town, and John Belen, my administrative assistant, back when I was coaching, he's an assistant athletic director now, but I walk with him every day. So we come over and try to solve a couple of problems as we walk around campus. So I'm doing well.
I love it. That's fun.
I tell you, I'm glad to be. I'd rather this guy be here talking than playing against him. I know that. I know
Coach,
that for
we
sure.
had some fantastic battles
Oh,
when I was
man, you're right.
at Boston College. But
Yeah.
and you talk about too before this game and honoring Bud Foster. How much does Bud not only mean to you, but this program? And you saw everybody emotional about it being his last year.
Well, you know, he's meant so much to this program, this area right here. I was doing an interview earlier this week, and they're talking about, okay, how about an assistant coach going into the College Football Hall of Fame? And I said, well, Bud Foster would be a perfect first one to ever do that, because he's meant so much to college football.
You like seeing this, don't you?
How about this?
There's Trey Turner. Look at that speed. Inside the 20. We had a defensive slugfest in the first half. All of a sudden, now we're going up and down the field.
Exactly. They people made some halftime adjustments, I believe.
Turner coming up a little bit slow. May have had the wind knocked out of him at the end of that run. Hopefully that's it. He's been banged up all year long. Missed a couple of games. It looks like he's pointing to his stomach like that might be it. Hopefully that is it for Virginia Tech fans.
Yeah, I think he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah,
but you saw the unbalanced line, 2 wide receivers on the ball at the top of the screen, and they pulled the guard and tackle away from the run to get the defense's eyes going one way. And Coach, you know, you get the defense's eyes going another way, you hit them back the other way. The old rope-a-dope.
Yeah.
Really good job right there.
Love that counteraction. That was one thing we always tried to have in our offense, a lot of counteraction, because get those people spread out a little bit.
Yeah, and you tried to mess with our eyes, our linebacker eyes.
Yeah.
Trey Turner getting an ovation from the crowd here at Lane Stadium, running off under his own power. That's a good sign. We were talking earlier in the day, what do you make of the resilience of this Virginia Tech team? Starting the season 2-2, 0-2 in conference play. They got hammered against Duke, and yet all of a sudden here we are talking about them controlling their own destiny.
Well, they're great representatives of the Virginia Tech way. You know, I've always said, hey, we're relentless. I love that word, and I think that's perfect for this team. We're not going to be quit. We're going to hang in there and find a way to give it our very best. So, you know, I'm proud of the way they're performing.
Sean McLeese with the carry. Gets about 5 yards on first down. So we're talking about the 99 team. And obviously that was sort of like the zenith, if you will, of Virginia Tech football in all the years you've been carrying the Hokies up there. But for you, it began a lot earlier than 1999. We actually have a picture I want to show you. Maybe we'll do it after this play of you back in your playing days. We give to McLeese. He's got room. He'll get inside the 10, down to the 6. It'll be first and goal for Virginia Tech. Now take a look at this photo here. What did they tell you to do before they took this picture?
That was big back in the day. Now, I'm just glad you got a still picture rather than a motion picture, because it would show how slow I was.
I like that leg extension.
Yeah, right. Look at that.
I got that leg up.
Yeah. I think Todd McShay would say you got really fluid hips. You looked good back then, Coach. That was in the late 60s when you were playing here. And obviously, your legacy as a player lives on with the number 25 being worn today by Divine Diablo.
Yeah, that's quite an honor. I'm so appreciative to the coaching staff here, Justin, and the whole staff for that honor. It truly is an honor.
And you're pleased to see that. That's McLeese. Great patience in the backfield, and the hole opened up wide, and he just went right through it.
Yeah, again, you're messing with the defender's eyes, and they did that time with the quarterback and running back exchange, and really good job by Hendon Hooker. Carrying out this ball fake widens those 2 defenders. And all you need is a little bit of a space between that defender and that end of the line blocker. Really good job. Virginia Tech getting back up on top, taking the lead.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks for stopping by. Great
Absolutely.
seeing you, as always.
Thank y'all.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks, Coach.
Hokies, forget about the field goals in the first half. Now they're scoring touchdowns, back on top. Second time here in this second half. McLeese doing the damage, and now we're starting to see some points put on the board. This is more like it. This is what I thought we would see from the start. Hinton lets it go over his head. Wake will start at the 25, coming up at 7:30 tonight. Notre Dame and Duke in our ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. As always, you can check it out on the ESPN app as well. So we're just getting started on a full night of college football in the ACC. Big game here, both from a coastal and Atlantic perspective. Let's not forget, Wake Forest goes to Clemson next week. They want to keep their dreams of an ACC title alive. Got to win tonight. Virginia Tech, meanwhile, with just 2 losses in conference play, keeping their hopes of being able to hopefully maybe face either Clemson or Wake Forest again in the ACC championship game. And the Deeks respond.
Oh.
The pressure came up the middle, and Deshaun Crawford was there to pick it off.
Well, Deshaun Crawford, he had an offsides earlier because he was emotional, ready to play. But watch right here, ID this man, watch him press up the field. Realized that he wasn't going to get to the quarterback, drop off for a quarterback spy. That's so difficult for Jamie Newman to see him. He counts him in the pass rush and feels like he can just dump it over the middle to Fruitfall. Deshaun Crawford, really good job of getting his hands on, buying the offensive lineman to take him and then dropping off. Big man getting an interception. No return. I'd like to see a little return, but really good play.
Robinson now takes the handoff. He'll get 7 yards. That's just the 6th interception thrown all year by Jamie Newman.
This Virginia Tech defense has the Wake Forest offense guessing a little bit. They're trying to do a bunch of different things to get their guys open. You saw an unusual formation, them all bunched up. Don't usually do that. Resulted in an interception.
Hooker looking to the sideline for the call. 2nd down and 4. They give them McLeese. Lowers his shoulder, gets what he can. Give him 2 on the carry. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, great tackle there by Chase Jones. He started this year as a 3rd teamer behind Justice Renard, Jaquez Williams, but he's a true freshman. He's made a couple good plays in the middle today. What I love about this player, he just can read the offenses, sees pulling guards, gets downhill, made a great stop there.
Stacked formation now at the bottom of your screen. Fuente didn't like what he saw. He called a timeout. Not very pleased with something that happened on the sideline. He'll talk it over with his team. Big 3rd down here. Virginia Tech trying to score off the turnover. We'll find out if they can when we come back. Hokies up 3 and driving here late 3rd quarter, trying to get points off of Wake Forest's first turnover of the night. And they're facing a 3rd down and 2 from the Wake Forest 13-yard line.
Virginia Tech wasn't happy with the formation they were in, came back. Now they're in a 2-by-2 set.
Robinson in motion. The fake to him. Now we get a flag, and the play is going to be blown dead. This may make Fuente even more upset than he was just moments ago.
False start, offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Austin Cannon guilty of the infraction, so it'll be 3rd and 7.
Please reset the game clock to 5 minutes, 39 seconds.
That's a big dude right there.
He's taking up that entire screen.
5:39 on the game clock.
So a new play called, big 3rd down for Virginia Tech. Trying to make the Deacons pay for that turnover. Hooker to throw. Now being flushed. Gets rid of it. Over the top of Robinson. Couldn't connect. Pressure was being put on by the Deeks and Chase Jones.
Yeah, Rondell Bothroyd is running just a pick play, picking that offensive tackle on the outside and gets right up in the middle. Sometimes when you see your defender go out as an offensive guard, you think the other guy might have him, but good job by getting skinny, getting through there and putting pressure. Hooker.
Johnson 2 for 2, make it 3 for 3 on the night. From 35 yards out, Hokies extend their lead, 23-17 now over the Deeks.
That's actually a win for the Wake Forest defense, only hold them to 3 points. And the offense has to come back and just has to get something going. Drive down the field, get some points.
Don't miss the huddle. That's our signature football show hosted by Jack Collinsworth with analyst Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, and welcome back, Coach Richt. Good to see him back on the desk. They'll preview the weekend slate of games, keep you up to date on all things ACC football. Live next Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning, right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Yeah, another field goal.
Another field goal.
Virginia Tech has put the ball in the end zone. They found that end zone here in the second half, but that man knows that this 17 here under Wake Forest isn't going to stay 17 for long.
Yeah, no, I mean, Wake Forest had 3 3-and-outs in the first half, and it started the second half with a 3-and-out and an interception. Virginia Tech just hasn't been able to have as many points result from that as they would like.
And Hinton called for a fair catch.
The receiver gave a fair catch signal, completed the catch. First down to the 25-yard line.
Looked like Hinton may have decided to change his mind right after he caught it.
Yeah,
fair catch signal was made.
Yeah, as a returner, you want to peek downfield and see the coverage a little bit. And he peeked down and saw a bunch of maroon jerseys flying directly at him. Good job getting his hand up. Completed the entire fair catch signal. Ball out. 25-yard line.
Back in the slot. Jamie Newman, as we mentioned that last drive, he was the 6th pick of the year, back at the helm. Looking to go to Claude, and he was covered by Caleb Farley very well.
Well, Caleb Farley has played really good football lately. And although Jermaine Waller may be the best, Caleb Farley may be the most physical. And in a game like today where the refs are letting things go on the outside, he is having his way. Hasn't given Stephen Claude even 1 catch today.
Here's Hinton. Goes down his shoe tops to make the catch. Can't get very far. 2 or 3, maybe 3 yards. Garbutt came from his defensive end position to stop him. We got a player down. It's a Hokie. It might be Deshaun Crawford. Maybe it is. Crawford made the interception on that last series. Now he's down for the Hokies. He's already missed a couple of games this year.
He'd been dealing with an ankle earlier in the year and came into this game completely healthy. Let's see how he walks off.
It looks like it's that right ankle. Members of that training staff, they were looking at that right ankle, so he'll be helped off. That's not good news for Bud Foster's defense. Looks like he's doing all right to walk off under his own power, so that's a good sign. Norrell Pollard, who's a true freshman, they're really high on, number 96. He'll come in to spell Crawford on a big 3rd down for that defense.
Matchup in the slot right here with Hinton. See if they come back to that one.
They do. And Newman connects with Hinton. Look how slippery he is in the open field.
Yeah, and that's the matchup that they're going to want. Jamari Connor, the nickelback, just doesn't have the skill set to stick with him. Look at that route. I mean, that is a textbook route. Get the feet in the ground, drive back to the football, get some space between you and the defender. Great job.
Newman pumps. Close. Frudenthal was downfield in traffic.
That's a scary ball. I know what he sees. He sees the 2 high safeties and the linebacker just sitting down, but great job by Reggie Floyd to bait that throw in there. Good play for the knockdown.
That was Brandon Chapman, the other tight end on the other side for Wake Forest, the intended receiver. 2nd and 10.
Free play here.
Free play, yeah. Decides to go out to Surratt, who makes a heck of a catch.
It's a good catch by Surratt. If Surratt had seen the flag be thrown, he has an automatic to go deep. Just didn't recognize the flag and stayed with his route.
Offside defense, number 8. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Yeah,
Belmar jump, they'll take that penalty.
Yeah, they'll take it. And that's coached into those receivers' heads is if you see a defensive lineman jump, just take off on a go route because it's going to be a free play. Good job. I don't know if Virginia Tech has anyone covering Cade Carney up here. Oh, there they go.
Now they recognize it. Holyfield goes up top. Newman tries to keep it, does. Gets 3. It'll bring up a big 3rd and 2.
That's one of those ones. I've been in that situation at linebacker where I'm like, where's my guy? Where's my running back? And you saw Cade Carney almost hiding by the sideline. Big 3rd down here. This is one where traditionally you've seen that ride and decide by Jamie Newman. They just haven't had much success in those short, quick passing game. Let's see if he just hands it off to Cade Carney up the middle.
Newman, he's going to get sacked. Eventually he's going to go down. And he does at the 35. Carney came out of there with the football. The forward progress had been whistled down.
Yeah, that
Newman is just so big, you just can't bring him down.
No, he's not. He's deceptively big. He's 6'4", 240, and just Jamari Connor's trying to bring him down. He tries to hand it off right there at the end to Cade Carney, but it really heads up play by Cade Carney. Poor block to get your quarterback sacked, but then you try to make the most of it. Progress was dead, and sometimes you start overthinking things. All year you hand the ball off to Cade Carney up the middle, and he's trying to get to the edge right to a blitz.
David Robinson, nice return after a long punt from Dom Maggio. Takes it to his 25, and that's where Virginia Tech will take over.
Virginia Tech has done a really good job in the ground game. They're doing it with a 3-headed monster. Right here, Hendon Hooker just holds it himself, pulls the ball, gets upfield, and then they're going to use Trey Turner on the jet sweeps. They've done it multiple times this game for some big plays, and then traditional, just hand it to your running back and get upfield. They have had a great success running the ball in this second half. Over 100 yards rushing just the second half alone. That could have been backwards, but a pass. That's the second time they've run that play. Try to swing it out to McLeese, and both have been incomplete, but they have credited their recent success to being able to run the ball better, and today is an example of how they're running the ball even better than they've had all year. 182 yards so far in this game, and this one is still in the third quarter.
Yeah, they've picked it up over the last few games. Stifled last weekend at Notre Dame, but the 2 games previous, they had run the ball for over 200 yards, and they're on their way to getting that number again tonight. Wake shows pressure, picked up. Hooker gets it out to Hazelton. Spinning his way, close to that first down marker. Is going to come up a yard short.
Hooker's pass complete to 14, David Hazelton.
So we thought that Virginia Tech might have a tough time covering Wake Forest wide receivers, and we were interested to see whether they might be scared and play off. It actually looks like Wake Forest is the one who are scared of Virginia Tech wide receivers. They're just getting so much cushion on the outside. There's this big cushion right out there, and they're just throwing the ball out to their wide receivers on little stop routes, picking up chunks of yards.
Third and 2. Delay quarterback draw, and Hooker gets stopped. He's going to be shy of that first down marker. Nasir Greer came in and made the stop, and that was a slow developing play that really never developed.
Yeah, and that's, it's interesting. If you're going to call that play call, there's not many things that Quincy Patterson does better than Hendon Hooker. But right there, just putting your head down and lowering your shoulder and getting an extra couple yards, and that's Quincy Patterson's bread and butter.
This is Bradburn's bread and butter, punting the football. And Hinton's going to let it bounce, and it's going to take a Hokie bounce inside the 10. 58 yards on the punt, inside the 10, no return. That's Bradburn doing his job. Sunday on the ACC Network, We'll have the ACC Field Hockey Championship at 11 a.m., followed by the men's soccer tournament quarterfinals, 1, 3, 5, and 7 o'clock. So field hockey and soccer all day long. Nobody covers the ACC like we do. Tune in tomorrow. So Wake Forest deep in their own territory. This Bud Foster defense is giving them fits all night long. Newman with the handoff to Walker. Freshman running back picks up 2. Wake Forest with just 30 yards rushing on the day.
Yeah, Virginia Tech is crowding the box. I get so surprised. You don't see one man deeper than 10 yards from the ball. And Wake Forest is trying to go on up top at least once or twice on the outside to Surratt. Just not a ton of success in the deep ball.
Newman to hit off his hands. Dangerously tipped up, but falls incomplete. Divine Diablo on the coverage.
They're just sitting with their eyes on the quarterback, playing man-to-man on the outside. And in the middle, there's just a bunch of zone defenders all staring at Jamie Newman, ready to break on the pass and just breaking up a lot of these intermediate routes.
3rd and 7. Final minute of this third quarter. Newman has protection. Now it breaks down, but he gets rid of it. Trying to find Hinton. Was he in bounds? He was. 18 yards and a first down. Great concentration, brings it in. This kid's had a good game tonight.
Oh, he's had a fantastic game, and he's a fearless player. You can throw the ball over the middle on the outside, come back to it. Does a great job of gaining separation at the top of his route.
Pressure's picked up. Newman tried to hit him again. This time he overthrows him, and Newman was dumped.
You watch Jamie Newman throw these balls. Very few times is he able to complete his throw without pressure right in his face. There's guys all over him. And he's been relatively accurate, but just not the same consistency that he's had all year. And that's a credit to Bud Foster, getting after it when he can, dropping back into coverage when necessary, limiting what Jamie Newman and this offense can do.
Newman trying to get it to Claude and just nowhere close. Farley again, great coverage.
Yeah, great coverage, and it seems like a wrong route by Claude. He's filling in for Scotty Washington and hasn't had a lot of play. And a lot of times when you get that press coverage of one-on-one, you try to fade to the sideline, and that's what Jamie Newman threw.
3rd down and 10 for Wake Forest. Virginia Tech rushes 4. Newman escapes it. Can he get there on his own? Spins and is going to come up 2 yards short. And that's going to wrap it up for the third quarter. Virginia Tech holding Wake Forest down offensively and getting it done on that side of the football. Hokies up 6, 1 quarter left to go.
Defensive front has done just that. You see a sack early on by Emmanuel Belmar, and then later in the game they're stuffing the run. And of course, the defensive tackle dropping for the interception. Bud Foster's defense has done its part so far in this game to go win a football game.
And they're up 6 heading to the fourth quarter, and they've just forced Wake Forest to punt the ball back to that Hokie offense. Dom Maggio will see if he can pin the Hokies deep. Good punt. Tavon Robinson's just going to let this one sail way over his head out of the back of the end zone. 55 yards for the touchback. Kels?
Guys, something to keep an eye on next time Virginia Tech is on defense. Their linebacker, Rayshard Ashby, came off the field limping. Looked like they were doing some work to his left hamstring. Sat on the bench for a little while, walking gingerly around, and just went and got on the bike. So we'll see how he is and if he's ready to go next time their defense is back on the field.
All right, Kels, he had his right calf taped up, too, at the beginning of the game, so he's all kinds of banged up. We'll see if he can come back here in this fourth quarter. Hendon Hooker now with the lead from his own 20. Looking to throw. Has his tight end. That's Mitchell. 35, 40. Right at midfield and a first down for the Hokies.
That was such a well set up play by Virginia Tech. They faked the action one way and ran the tight end screen back. These two, James Mitchell and Dalton Keene, have provided so much extra firepower for this Virginia Tech offense as of late. It was out of necessity with Quincy Patterson when he was in the game. Now they're receiving threats, and Hendon Hooker's finding him with the ball.
And big old number 54 was lined up as a receiver. Hazelton takes it, though, and he'll pick up 10 yards. Lasita Smith lined up as a slot receiver. Yeah, that caught my eye.
Yeah. Sometimes when you look out there and you say, man, he is way too big to be playing this position. Look at him right out there. And they do that so they can hide the tight end on the backside. That's just a regular unbalanced set. And due to the numbers and the ineligibility, they had tight end backside who looked like an offensive tackle.
King, great move at the second level. 17 yards. You can see his explosiveness.
All right, now hold your breath and cover your ankles. Boom, right there, because they are going to get broken by this man. Oh, man. That is not something you want as a defender. Really good job, Keyshawn King, making a man miss and testing the durability of his Nike shoes.
Look what the Hokies are doing on the ground. 200 yards here, and we're just getting started with the fourth quarter. And scrimmaging on another first down. King again. This time he's met by Smenda. Falls forward for about 3.
We talked to Justin Fuente, too, about his offense and his rush offense in particular. He said, we're not good enough to just run the ball when they know when we're going to run it and where we're going to run it. They do a lot of misdirection, look this way, run it back the other way. They've done very successful in doing that tonight.
Hooker with King flanked to his right. 2nd down and 7. Looking to throw. Hazelton gets by one tackler to the 10. Makes a move inside the 5, right to the goal line. And they're going to rule him out of bounds at the 1.
Great adjustment by Virginia Tech. They looked to the sideline, changed the play. They saw the cushion. We've been seeing it all night. Yusang Bassi just is off too much from the wide receiver. And you get it in his hands and watch what he can do with it. I mean, just, I don't know how you do that. It's great, but you see the knee hit down right before the ball hits the pylon. Now we're in close range to see if they hand it to their running back again. They have all night.
It's Mitchell, and he'll score.
And of course not, Mark. We just talked about they're going to show you one thing and do something else. Well, what we haven't seen yet is them hand the ball off to James Mitchell, but there's a first time for everything. And right there, James Mitchell, I mean, he can do a little bit of everything. These tight ends, Dalton Keene and James Mitchell, they can play running that back, they can play wide receiver.
Hokies up by 12. Looks like they may be going for 2 here. Making a 14-point cushion early in this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Hooker will look to Hazelton. Just overshoots his man, so the lead remains 12. Virginia Tech, they've exploded offensively here in the second half. And James Mitchell, a big part of it. Takes the handoff, takes it into the end zone. Hokies up 12 in the fourth. Guided this team in this offense here in the second half. As you can see, they weren't able to get in the end zone. That was a big story we had at halftime. They had the football driving, chewing up clock, chewing up yards, but kicking field goals. A couple touchdowns here in this second half. Now, they've forged a 12-point lead. That's what they've done offensively. Defensively, they've held this Wake Forest offense. They average over 500 yards of offense per game, held them in check. You can see through the years, Bud Foster, we know he's been here 33 years, came from Murray State. That's where he met Frank Beamer, came here with him in the 80s and has been here ever since. Announced over the summer he's going to retire after this year, was honored before the game, and his defense is honoring him with the way they've played tonight.
Chris, you talk about him over the years, and you look at this sidelines, you can tell what he's meant to this program over the years. Lots of his former players here. I talked to Greg Stroman. He's with the Redskins. He was here. He said he remembers a time when he was playing spring ball. It was just a sophomore, and he said coach came up to him and said, hey, you're doing a really good job. He said that meant more to him than you know, because when you get recognition from Bud Foster, you know you're doing the right thing. He's just one of a handful of guys that said they were very excited to be back here with this team today and getting the defense pumped up on the sidelines too.
Yeah, they're responding to that. Again, forcing a third down here in this Wake Forest offense. Reggie Floyd coming up to make the stop on Cade Carney. 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6, and no Rayshard Ashby in. He's a Dax Hollifield move over to the Mike position. Alan Tisdale in at the Buck position. Looks like they're playing 2 high safeties, but so good at disguising their coverage. Playing top down.
Newman has Surratt at the bottom of your screen here. Opting to go with Carney, running the football, bounces off a tackle. That's a good hard run by Cade Carney. He's going to pick up a first down for the Deacons.
Well, Wake Forest believed what it saw, and it did stay 2 high safety, and there just was not another defender in the box. And wide open right there as Tisdale tries to drop out to his coverage. Good job by Carney to get the first down.
Newman looking at Surratt. Loses his footing as he tried to come to the back shoulder catch. Couldn't make it. Waller on the coverage.
Been some really good offensive and defensive battles out there on the edges with Surratt. It started off with Chapman had a couple good plays. Waller had a couple good plays. Then Surratt got the best of them. It's just been really fun to watch.
Carney net in the backfield. Can't do anything this time. He'll lose a yard.
It came with a run pressure and brought the linebacker and just opened up the gap for big Norrell Pollard, a true freshman in there. He has been really impressive. When you talk about getting some praise from Bud Foster, means a lot. He's gotten praise so far this year as a freshman.
Hokies bring pressure. Surratt makes him pay. Fumbles the football, though. Still loose. Virginia Tech picks it up. They're going to say he was down. They're going to whistle this one down. And Surratt is down. $14 yards on the pickup. More importantly for...
was a catch, and the runner was down. First down.
More importantly for Coach Clausen in Wake Forest, his number 14 is down. Catch was made. He was down before that ball came out. You agree that left leg was down?
Yeah, I do. It's really close. I was going to try to take another look at it. And as I'm just wondering, that ball's moving at all, right? It just it happens so simultaneously. But I want to watch that left elbow. That seems to me like maybe you touched first. You get forearm right there. I think that forearm being down while the ball's still in and the elbow coming down right before the ball comes out, because that leg and ball was, you know, that was almost simultaneous, which would mean he would be down. Good job by Surratt and Jamie Newman. Just keep plugging away. He gets stopped over and over and just keep finding a way to get the
reception. Thought he might have fumbled it, so he went after it.
Ooh, and you see right there kind of the hyperextension. His elbow got caught under as his body rotated around, working on that right shoulder.
Now think about it. They're already without Scotty Washington. If they're without Sage Surratt down 12 here in the fourth quarter, that's big.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to put all the marbles on Kendall Hinton. He's a good player, but look for Virginia Tech to start doubling him, taking him away, forcing the ball to go other places.
First down for the Deacs, right at midfield. Newman going up top to his tight end, and Freudenthal couldn't come down with it.
Good coverage right there by Alan Tisdale. His teammates say he might be one of the most athletic players on this defense at the linebacker position. Just a mistimed jump by Freudenthal. Good position by Tisdale. Newman wants the flag, and wasn't a ton of contact.
Now also offensive coordinator for Wake Forest, Warren Ruggiero, is earning his keep, splitting his running back Cade Carney out here at the bottom of the screen, trying to figure something out, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and what traditionally has worked hasn't been working today. And oh, now Cade Carney looks like he's uncovered at the bottom of the screen.
And we get a timeout. I think the Virginia Tech coaches saw that. Oh, delayed game.
5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, we
Another
saw
costly penalty.
Yeah, and we saw the uncovered running back at the bottom of the screen. You know, Chris, you pointed that out. And to me, that's a result of not having Rashard Ashby on the field. You know, he's your middle linebacker. He's getting everybody lined up, and now that's going to fall on Dax Hollyfield's plate, making sure that everybody's covered, everybody's in the right spot. Got lucky on that one.
Second and 15. Here comes pressure. Picked up enough to complete the pass. Hinton inside the 40 to the 39, just enough for a first down.
Virginia Tech brought pressure. They blitzed the back with both linebackers and left a open spot in the middle of the field. Hinton was working on Divine Diablo. Good job with the in cut. Good job by Jamie Newman hanging in the pocket, getting the ball.
Newman again in the pocket. Outside the Waydale Jones, who makes the catch, 8 yards. Jermaine Waller was on him, but we're going to start giving you some names that you haven't heard of yet in this Wake Forest offense on that receiving corps, because that man right there, Sage Surratt, is out. Scotty Washington also out.
Yeah, Waydale Jones is another one. He's a big 6'4", 200-pound receiver. You saw his strong hands on that play. Jamie Newman's going to have to start doing some things by himself. I mean, when you get guys who don't have a ton of experience, you might trust him with a play here and there, but Jamie Newman's going to have to carry this offense, try to find where number 2 is, and get him the ball.
They also have not been able to run the football today. Just 54 yards rushing for the game.
Virginia Tech has everybody down by the box.
Clock under 8 minutes to go. Wake Forest driving, but down 2 scores. Hinton in motion. Newman's going to try and run it again. Nothing doing.
Divine Diablo made so many big plays last week. This one right here was just as big. He saw the hole open up and fired his gun, went downfield. Big stop. Now 4th down for Jamie Newman.
Crowd here at Lane Stadium letting him hear it.
Alan Tisdale showing pressure up the bottom of the line. He comes.
Incomplete. Tried to get it to Hinton over the middle, and it's a turnover on downs.
A little bit too far out in front of Hinton. Jamie Newman felt the pressure coming, knew he needed to get the ball out quickly. As Jamie Newman develops even a little bit more as a quarterback, he'll understand that just because I needed to get it out quick doesn't mean I need to throw a bullet every time. He had an open receiver, and just a nice soft touch pass in there would have given Hinton room to run.
Now this Virginia Tech team, they already have over 200 yards rushing on the day. You got to think that players like this man right here, Deshaun McLeese, who spins out of a tackle to the 40, first down, and that'll help run some more clock. Sage Surratt going to the locker room. His day presumably over with 6.5 still to play.
You're absolutely right, Chris. Now they're going to rely on the running game that's been working so well. Virginia Tech, I think, still needs to stay multiple in the way they run the ball, not just hand the ball off to the running back. Do a little bit with Trey Turner on the sweeps, with Deshaun McCleese, Keyshawn King.
James Mitchell's been carrying the football a couple of times. He's in motion here. Here's McCleese again.
Good stick.
Boy, Trey Rucker, whose ankles were broken a couple of times on that last Virginia Tech drive, said, had it with this.
Well, you know the best way to not get your ankles broken is to meet the ball carrier right in the line of scrimmage. Watch him come downhill. Right there, the gap opens, and he just shoots right into that gap. If you don't give the running back any space, you can't break your ankles. Good job right there with a big hit. True freshman Trey Rucker.
2nd down and 9. Hokies working on that clock. Hooker looking to pass. Now he'll tuck it and run, and he's got room to run. Pass midfield, right at midfield, driven out of bounds. And Jaquez Williams forces him out, and it's going to set up a huge 3rd down. This Wake defense has got to get off the field at 5.5 to go.
Yeah, they do. And right now, if I'm number 9, Carlos Boogie Basham, I am licking my chops. This is where he thrives and can get pressure on the quarterback. Looks like they're going to rush 4 and drop everyone else back. Bring pressure up the top of the screen.
Here they come. And Hooker doesn't make him pay for it. Tried to get it to Tavian Robinson. That pressure forced the air and throw, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Hooker identified the pressure and went to the right receiver. I think 2 things happened. Tavian Robinson needs to continue away from his coverage, continue outside, and Hendon Hooker needs to put a little bit closer, but good stop, big stop for Wake Forest. The whistles in play.
There's no foul on the play. We will reset the 25-second clock. 4th down.
I think
Virginia Tech tried to come in and get a quick punt.
Yeah, I think they just went so fast. The officials were not in position.
Now everybody is. And Oscar Bradburn will try and pin Wake Forest. Deep pressure comes, and he does just get it away, and it's a good punt. Hinton will let it bounce. Right inside the 10, another great punt from Oscar Bradburn. Demon Deacons have a long way to go. They got to score twice.
He is not out right now. They just took him back for further evaluation. I'm told it's a shoulder injury. You may have seen them working on his hand, checking out his arm. They're checking the strength to see if he will be able to come back into the game. We'll continue to monitor that for you guys.
All right, thanks, Kel. Surratt just went over 1,000 yards for the season on that last catch when he was forced out. Pressure coming here from Bud Foster's defense. Wow. Trying to get it to Kendall Hinton, who went airborne, and you know, Reggie Floyd was actually kind to Hinton by not absolutely laying him out.
Yeah, and Jamie Newman was not kind to Hinton. Sometimes you got to trust your quarterback not to throw you into coverage like that. That's
Reggie Floyd has been known to bring lumber.
Yeah.
And he was kind and said, I'm not going to put you out of this game with 2 other receivers out. Wake Forest 91 yards away. Newman, pressure comes, ball's in the air, and it's intercepted. Dax Hollifield with the pick. How about that? Hollifield, whose father played at Wake Forest, in attendance here today. He's wearing all Virginia Tech gear, though. He says, I'm all in for the Hokies. And his boy makes an unbelievable pick.
Taiwan Garbett loops around from his end position. And he knocks that ball, it flutters in the air, and Dax Hollifield, who was on a blitz, saw the ball in the air. His eyes went directly to it and tracked it all the way. Really, really great play. Good concentration to come down with it. Another interception from Virginia Tech defense.
And another touchdown for Hooker.
Well, It's not a defensive score, but it's Beamer ball at its best, and that, for lack of a better term, is a defensive touchdown. You put your offense in a position to score. Great job by Virginia Tech's defense. Great job by Hendon Hooker to pound that one in, and Bud Foster's defense is honoring him today with some amazing play.
First it was Hollifield, who kept his eye on the ball and picked the deflection. 36-17 our score, just over 4.5 left to go in this game. And Jamie Newman in this Wake Forest offense, vaunted coming in. They've been stymied all night long by Bud Foster's defense, and they're running out of time. Kendall Hinton with the fair catch at his own 4. What happened on that last interception, Mark?
Yeah, really good job up front defensively. They're going to send Dax Hollifield on the pressure. They're running a little line stunt, looping around. And as this play develops, good job by Garbut getting in there and the deflection. And watch here, look at Dax Hollifield's eyes go directly up to the football. He follows it the entire time, comes down with it, and his boys are fired up. Look at Tywan Garbut and Jamie Newman pleading his case, but
timeout.
nothing you can do about that.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Don't know exactly what he thinks might have happened, but that was as clear as day. Got hit, interception. Even just one more way, Bud Foster's defense has stepped up.
Wake Forest is now reporting in as number 60.
Kelsey has an update on Sage Surratt. Kels?
Yeah, guys, bad news for this Wake Forest offense if they want to get back in this game. Sage Surratt is out for the rest of the game. He came back out briefly with his helmet off and with his shoulder pads off, so we'll have to get more of an update on what's going on with that shoulder, but he is ruled out for the rest of this game.
All right, thank you, Kels. Bad news for Wake Forest for the rest of this game, and maybe even beyond, too. We already knew Scotty Washington was a game-time decision night with that ankle, couldn't go. Now Surratt's got the shoulder. Jamie Newman not in the game right now for Wake Forest. And that's going to be Tavon Bowers, that quarterback spot now for Wake Forest. So this may be a situation where Dave Clawson says, not going with Newman. It's sort of puzzling to me.
Well,
I know they're down big, but are you throwing in the towel with over 4 minutes still to play?
yes. That's exactly what it looks like is happening.
Hand off to Courtney McKinney. You're right. We're seeing backups in the game now across the board for Wake Forest. So Coach Dave Clawson is just saying it's just too big of a hill to climb, and we'll live to fight another day.
Yeah, it's just a really interesting move. I don't like it, personally. I don't like that move. I don't know what it does for you. It sends a message to your team that you're giving up on the game. I would never want, as a coach, to have my players think at all that I've quit. But, when I noticed that, I looked down and I saw so many clean white jerseys. Anytime you're playing on a regular grass field and you see a clean white jersey, it means that guy hasn't been in the game. And you're right, you don't see this very much, Chris, and especially not in such a big game.
Let me ask you this then. You're down by 19 points. You're already down one receiver, and you just lost your All-American receiver in Sage Surratt. Are you saying to yourself, look, I'm not going to risk an injury to Newman or another one of my starters right now in the final 4 minutes of this game, down 3 scores?
I guess maybe that's what you're thinking, but what is the thought process behind that? We're going to take a loss this game, have 2 in-conference losses, then go and play Clemson next week, who, if we find a way to beat Clemson, would have 1 in-conference loss, and we still wouldn't be able to play for the ACC championship game. To me, those things just don't add up. I mean, this is the biggest game of Wake Forest season right now. And Dave Clawson has decided to just throw in the towel. And
Bowers trying to find Jones, and it falls incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down.
Pass intended for number 80, Waydell Jones, incomplete. In coverage from the Hokies, number 28, Jermaine Waller.
Virginia Tech's going to do something tonight that they haven't done in a long, long time. The last win versus a ranked opponent at home was in 2009. Back when Miami was ranked number 9 in the country. Miami's a long way from that.
Although Miami, last I checked, was hammering Louisville today. Coastal. It's just weird.
You could predict the outcome of these Coastal games. You would fare very well in Vegas because no one can figure it out.
Try picking these games coming up here for Virginia Tech. Assuming they hold on here in the next 2 minutes. They're at Georgia Tech next weekend, and then Pitt at home before a huge game up in Charlottesville on the 29th right there. They've lost 50. They've won 15 in a row to Virginia. Virginia almost got them last year, couldn't get there. But that game is going to be big for so many reasons. If Virginia Tech can take care of business against the Jackets and the Panthers in the next 2. And don't forget about Pitt either. They're still alive in this thing.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's alive. But one thing that Virginia Tech has on their side is that if they just keep winning and just keep winning, then they will go. They don't have to worry about anyone else doing anything else. They have it under their control. And that man right there, his defense had this entire game under its control. Today they got to the quarterback. They stopped the big receivers. They played physical, tough football. I know that Justin Fuente is going to be excited about the toughness his team showed because he felt that after that Duke game, they just did not have that resilient, that toughness about them. Well, they've showed resilience and they've showed toughness today as they just do something you don't see very often, a shotgun snap into a kneel, but they do. And they're just going to continue to kneel down. Here comes the bucket.
And they're looking for Bud Foster. They got him. And it is a chilly night here in Blacksburg. I don't think Bud Foster will mind it one bit.
He won't mind it one bit. So much emotions coming into this season for him. So many emotions coming into tonight for him. You saw him get emotional as they were honoring him pregame. Just celebrating the birth of his 4th grandson, Corbett. And he has more football left to play this season. I know he's looking forward to spending time with his family once this is over, but they have an ACC championship to win first, and you see that lunch pail defense has been so iconic, represented so much to so many players. And what better way to finish a night honoring Bud Foster